Okay, hello and welcome to today's analysis of the NQ. Um, today's video is going to be pretty quick. I'm going to go over what happened and what that means for the rest of the things that I was saying during the week. Um, so, in my video, maybe yesterday or Monday, I talked about um, the implications of them breaking up, um, which to me would have been a good enough sign for us to convincingly say that this was a nice internal lick grab that did a job, brought us up to here. So right now we have still these 2 points as our change of character source. This is being the confirmation, and we got another break of structure inside here. This break of structure means we can come down into here for reaccumulation if we want to. And in a more larger scale, we can still come and interact with these points. But for now, we are pushing up into this daily order block, which has some precarious liquidity points inside it. We came into the block that I said was my last mitigation, not mitigation, the last liquidity grab before the move down. That block is, here's the 24-minute one. I think there was a nicer looking 45 one we can mark out. Yeah. This one took internal liquidity, it provided a wash. I think we've come into that. We have. Now, 4 hour is not diverging anymore with waves, with money flow. Yeah. The next stop for some bearish signs for me would be higher time frame hidden divergence with money flow heavily divving, and then I need to wait and see internal bearish structure take over. So it might be a while. So for now, I can see them still search for liquidity in here. It could be a bit messy. I did say that once we take this high, things could get messy. We have news over the next few days, so we'll have to see what they do. I've nothing very local to say today, except that we have left these equal lows here on this mitigation candle. This was US yesterday. We have very nested liquidity internally. And this area still down here is still nice. I still like it. I still like the demand zones. Contextually, they don't have to stay inside here. They can come back into this area because this is the bounds. These are the bounds of the change of character, right? So they can come into here. But I think they might give it some more time before doing that, if they do. Now, obviously, we can just break up. Money flow is actively increasing. We could just break up and up and up and up. It's obviously possible. But for now, it's looking like the bullish case has taken over. So does that mean long right now? Well, I mean, look, if your model allows you, if your entries strategy allows you to get in on these situations, then sure. Just be aware that we did come into come into a block up here and got a reaction off it here. I'm not doing much, not doing any local analysis today. But yeah, even as you can see here, like on the 8 hour, money flow is thin, but it's seeming like we're gonna have to wait for kind of a cycle to happen, I think, before we get like very convincing shorts back into structure. But for now, if we do come in and take convincing liquidity anywhere around here, maybe around these anchored VWAPs, I would look for some longs. Again, this is a nice zone down here. We have big demand below, but if you look at my charts, there's a lot of demand below that they didn't come to yet or ever. But we'll see. A lot of vector recovery down here as well. Nice big 6 hour vector recovery. It's definitely a juicy area, but they could induce it a lot more. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, I had some good trades this week. I'm not going to force any trades today. We have news. Did we get any of my models? Well, because technically, sorry, my timing models, because we came into, we took this external liquidity, it's still technically in this downtrend, because this is, you know, this is the height of our downtrend, our apex, and this would be our last, like, strong mitigation. We could obviously come up here and take this, but things would be looking, I mean, it would just get messy there. But we came into this valid block. This was the block that took liquidity before we had this break of structure. We took liquidity into it. I could see this create some kind of reaction to bring us back into internal demand, depending on what news does maybe. So I would shy away from taking longs right now, personally. You know, we are very high. We are in supply. You know, we've been told by the charts now that the structure seems strong. Let's allow price to just find its comfort zone again, lower if it wants to, and then interact with that. So I'm not really taking any longs. I'm not really taking any shorts. I know myself, the way that I trade, when stuff like this happens and stuff is confirmed, then it's actually just more profitable in the long run for me to just wait. I let a lot of trades through, but sometimes that's okay. You know, sometimes it's okay to just sit back and observe. Actually, a lot of the times it's okay to do that. A lot of times it's preferable. So you never know. Tomorrow might be super clear about what they do today. So, but anyway, I just wanted to update you on that. They took this high. Money flow increasing. So yeah, any convincing money flow signs as it retraces back in might be good to take some little longs. And then we still have our points lower, which are valid. My areas still exist down here for getting closes low here. I would be waiting for more absorption or liquidity being taken and moving down. So you could argue that we have another area here now that is a bit oh no, actually these are equal lows, and this guy didn't take this guy here. So yeah, we could have a huge push down into here, which could set up some demand to take it up again. I could see that, just because these are equal lows. These are now a structural point that I wouldn't necessarily call this like a change of character that's very convincing. It feels like to me, if they came back into here, it would just be absorption and kind of accumulation at this stage. We'll have to see once we get there, if we get there. Could we just break up? I mean, yeah, we could just push up. It still feels like to me that they want to drag this whole area out a bit longer, give it a bit more time. That's what it feels like. So let's see what they do. All right, that's it for today, guys. Yeah, happy trading, and we'll see you tomorrow.